Hello and welcome to Divine Conquer Overhauled version 7 Thalios Bridge faction overview of Rune. We all know Kingdom Rune? Ha! Kingdom of Rohan! Sorry, I don't know why I was thinking of Rune. I think because of the loading screen had the fight in the east. I was like thinking about Rune and Harad. Anyway, no. Kingdom of Rohan. So, what changed for Kingdom of Rohan in version 7? Well, unit-wise, the standard change that every faction received, except the elves and the dwarves. But economically-wise, this is where I keep saying Rohan has changed a lot. For one, Rohan does not get it gets very little income from mines. You are not much of a mining nation when it comes to gold and all that. You use iron, of course. You're fully capable of smithing and iron smelting and creating steel. You just don't use gold that much. You use it, but you buy the gold more than you actually mine it yourself. And your economy is of course based on horses, because as any faction gets the three major trade resources that will boost your economy and your industry. Rohan gets the horses as number one, of course. Grain as number two, because you got they are a little bit agricultural land, and wool as third. I think wool is fur or textile, something like that. I don't know what wool is precisely, but point being is Rohan is not much of an industrious nation. It has industrial capability, but it's more like horses and agriculture than anything else. Rohan also gets massive income from its guilds, aka more precisely the Horseman Guild. Let me just see where it is. There you go. First, every horse breeders guild gets you 200. That's in every city, every castle, I also think. So that's pretty good already. That's 200 boost income no matter what. But then you have Master Horse Breeders Guild, which you can get in one city or castle, I think, in your country, which will give you 500 income. Very nice. And then you get, of course, the Errol's Stables, which gets you 800 income. That is a great boost for Rohan. That's a pretty good boost in income. Of course, Meadowseld will get you your elites when the barracks event happens, because Edoras is a huge city and cannot recruit late game units, so it needs some kind of boost. That's why Meadowseld will give you that legendary units and elites and all that. Huge City has all of the tradable resources. Your maximum, as you can see, unlike the Dunedain, which have 2000 as maximum, the Northman and Rohan has 1900 as max. The second income, which is the grain, will give you 1150, and the wool will give you 1000. Your basic income is 900 from a Huge City. Yeah, you get less income from anything. Actually, no, I think this is your lowest. I think everyone has 1000 from Huge City, and this is the wool. I think I think this is horses, this is grain, and this is wool. I think that's how it goes. Either way, so Rohan changes to bodyguards. King Theoden stayed the same, as we can see with Rohan bodyguard, but it has effective against armor. Yes, that's right. Your bodyguard is effective against armor. We will talk about it more in the unit overview. No, where is he? There you go, Eomir, your most important general, I would argue, comes with the Royal Guard, which is your legendary unit. Very similar to the Rohan bodyguard, as you can see, just a little bit more defensive. We will talk about that again more soon. And of course we have our boy Theodred, our second favorite character of Rohan, or maybe even third, depends on who you ask. He comes with arrow lancers, who are also effective against armor. So basically Rohan is a spoiler to what Isengard is. Rohan, if you are playing of course as Rohan, you need these effective against armor units to deal with Isengard. Isengard is a pure armor faction. There is very little Rohan can do against Isengard in terms of armor. Your units, your foot units, are very weak. Your power comes from the horses, not from your stationary units. I will showcase all of this, of course, on the unit overview. Isengard will, pure warning, Isengard is heavily armored. Heavy armor. These two will be your most important.
Your orders, yes, my lord.
Well, Theoden is more than
Your orders,
Theoden, but either way, both are very much important to your survival. I think you have, yeah, of course, Emut, also, who has the Rohan bodyguard, also gets effective against armor. So try to use them as much as you can to combat Isengard's armored units. For nothing else will actually come close to being able to deal with them. Your best infantry foot armor unit or foot anti-armor unit will not be that good, or armor piercing unit, I should say. Anyway, before we go to look at the units, because that's it about Rohan, there's nothing much, changes to the economy and bodyguard changes. Build the horse guild. Just build it. Horse Breeders Guild is your most important building for economy, I would argue, and build it as much as possible. The resources are very much important, look for them also, but I'm pretty sure for horses you're not gonna go far away. You have horses here and probably nowhere else. That will give you, let me just see if I can find the horse resource so I can show you all, but I don't think I can. Let me, wait, is this the horse? Yes, I think it is. Yeah, there we go, the horse resource. Those are small horses in a barn. Either way, let's go look at the units. And here we are with the units of Rohan. A lot of cavalry, a lot of good cavalry, if you ask me. But first, let's look at the foot units. Your militias, basically. We have first and foremost the Airling Axemen. 153 units, not a bad size. They will, Isengard will outnumber you, but not by a lot, like 50 units max probably. Effective against armor, that's pretty good, but only 5 attack, which is, that's not a lot against Isengard. And this is why I talked about your horses or your cavalry being more important against armor than your foot infantry. They're not that effective. I mean, they are effective against armor, they just don't have enough damage to deal with Isengard. Total defense of 16, that's at least pretty good, with 10 armor, 4 defense skill, and 2 shield. And how much does this pleasure cost you of having this decent foot infantry? It costs you 1615 and an upkeep of 695. That is pretty decent upkeep, or pretty okay cost for a unit. This is pretty okay. For these stats, it's pretty okay. Next we have is the Airling Spearmen, your heavily defensive militia. I mean, of course, you have your present militia, but this is, I mean, come on. Soldiers, 152, so same as the Airling Axemen. No effective against armor, can make shield wall, that's very important. 4 attack, which is 2 charge, of course, they are a shield unit, they will not have any charge. And total defense of 20, that's the big difference. With 10 armor, so same chainmail basically, 5 defense skill and 5 shield. Much sturdier and larger shield, because of course it is. And they cost 1745 and an upkeep of 760. So a little bit more expensive, but honestly as an anvil they're pretty okay early game. Next we have is the archers. Alright, a little spoiler alert, if you thought that Dolamov's archers are shit, oh, you haven't seen anything for Rohan's archers. Let me just find them so we can talk about. Let me see where they are. Oh no, I missed them. Yeah, keep talking. You're helping me out. Keep talking. There we go. Airling archers. So, 122, much larger amount of units. 5 melee attack, 3 3 missile attack. That is so poor, it's insane. This is Wildman level bad. You really don't have good archers. And 3 charge bonus, which is but total defense of 15, 10 armor, so all of these airlink units have the same armor and 5 defense skill. Yeah, my advice, don't get them at all. Just if you're in a bad state and you're that desperate for range units, you get these, you're in a problem. They have, of course, the cheapest of these 3 with 1540 cost and 680 upkeep, but they have poor stats to show for it. Next we have is the Peasant Scout. Let me see, where's the Peasant Scout so we can talk about that. That's Peasant Militia. That's why are you not in the right order? There we go. So 100 units. Is it a horde? Yeah, it's a horde. 6 attack, 6 charge, pretty balanced. But this is where it falls. Total defense of 7 with 3 armor and 4 defense skill. There is no chainmail on these units, only leather. They will do a decent job of skirmishing, you know, attacking from the back. They will do a decent job, but don't use them at all. If you can get Rohirrims, get the Rohirrims. If you can't, these can be just, you know, no, actually just get the Rohirrims. Cost is 1550 and upkeep of 685. They can be useful if you're strapped for cavalry and you need cavalry to deal damage, but you should always strive for the Rohirrim instead of the Peasant Scouts. But, you know, sometimes you're just desperate. Aerial Skirmishers, arguably the better Rohirrim, but I don't think so, but, you know, up to you. 76 units, pretty large. 10 melee attack, okay. 9 missile attack, okay. Effective against armor, javelin of course, and 5 charge bonus, so not a lot of charge. But total defense of 20 with 12 armor, so we're dealing with a better chainmail, as you can see. That's pretty good chainmail. 3 defense skill and 5 shield. That's dare I say it, not bad. That is not bad. Let me just see, where are they? Aerial Skirmishers. But this is where the cost ramps up for Rohirrim, for Rohan I should say. 2,455 is the cost, and the upkeep is 1,080. So yeah, if you want skirmishers, they will cost you a lot. Pretty penny, if I should say so myself. Peasant Militia, they're bad. 3 attack, 2 charge, and total defense of 9. 4 armor, 2 defense skill, 3 shield. Yep, we're talking leather, we're talking small shield, we're talking very, very bad infantry. Do not try to even get these. Maybe as garrisons, but even then, just get the Airling Spearmen. Way better. The cost of them is, of course, very much cheap also, with 1,005 being the cost and upkeep of 480. Cheap infantry, that's about it. Cannon fodder, if you will. But then we come to, I would like to say, the bread and butter of this faction. The thing that will fill up your armies for most of the time, because there's just so many of them, is the Rohirrim. 100 units. Pretty good. 7 attack, 7 charge. That's not a lot, but not small either. And total defense of 18 with 10 armor, 4 defense skill, and 4 shield. Very much an all-rounder cavalry. And a cavalry that you were going to use a lot because, first of all, the price is pretty good. And just the unit size is amazing. 100 unit of cav is amazing. Up until the aerial lancers, I'm pretty sure the Rohirrim are going to be your mainstay cavalry unit. Maybe not. Maybe we're gonna find something better, but I'm pretty sure the aerial lancers are going to be your answer to the Rohirrim are going to be the answer to everything, and aerial lancers are going to be like the specialized anti-armor cavalry. Either way, we're talking cost of 2,345 and upkeep of 1,020. So a little bit cheaper than the aerial skirmishers, but at the same level almost. Now let's go talk to your good units, or talk about your good units. First we have is a aerial swordman, 152, so same size as the militia. That's pretty okay, with 9 attack and 5 charge. Very low. This is very low in terms of damage, but total defense of 25 with 17 armor, 5 defense skill and 3 shield. We're finally talking some possible plate even underneath this chainmail. Maybe not, maybe just very hardened chainmail and very hard leather, but a pretty good defensive unit nonetheless. Of course, we all know that the sword and board is not really that good when it comes to defense, but it will also kill. You know, 9 attack is not small. It can deal with some units. The good thing is the cost is only 2,200 and the upkeep is 960. So that's good. That's the good stuff. You know, they're cheap, but very good. Next we have is the Arid Footman. Your mainstay. I love the shields, by the way. Your mainstay defensive anvil, if you will, of your tactic. 6 attack, 3 charge, can form a shield wall, and total defense of 27 with 17 armor, 4 defense skill, and 6 shield. As I said, this is your defense. This is your wall of shields that cannot be penetrated, basically. I mean, they probably can, but anyway, 17 armor is amazing. And 6 shield is just sturdy, sturdy, sturdy. They have a higher cost though, 2,325, and upkeep of 1,020. So larger upkeep, but not that large. So this is maybe the answer and not this. Think about it. But then we come to your armor piercing unit, the Riddermark Axeman. 8 attack, 6 charge. That's actually pretty okay. That's okay for an armor piercing unit. Not the greatest. It is effective against armor, but not the greatest. These will still struggle against Isengard, but this is okay for any other faction. Isengard is just so heavily armored, or the Dunedain, of course, and the elves. The Wildmen, other Northmen, the Orcs, you're gonna have a good time with the Axemen. It's when we talk about the Isengard and the Rune units or Eastern units of Dol Guldur is where these guys have a problem. But you know, how much you have a problem with that, but the cavalry is gonna deal with that. Either way, the cost of them is 2,425 and upkeep is 1,050. So decent cost, decent upkeep. But next we come to your second best archer unit, and arguably the only archer you can even think about getting. Foot archer, that is. Oh, sorry. So we're talking about 100 units, Helmengas of course, 100 units, pretty bad. 8 mil attack, but 7 missile attack. That's good. That is bad, but that's good. Compared to the 3, that's good. That's almost the same. I think it's the same actually as the Nimerdal Mariners, or whatever they're called, from Dolamroth. And total defense, of course, is 24 with 16 armor, 5 defense skill, and 3 shield. That's pretty good defense. They are more defensive than they are offensive because 7 missile attack is just bad, but you know, no one said the Rohirrim are good archers. Decent maybe, but good. Actually, not even decent. They're just bare bone. Their cost is 2,310, which is pretty low, and 990 upkeep. That's pretty okay for cost. But next we come is to Rohirrim archers, your first archer cavalry, and this is where they almost shit on any of your archers because they have 6 missile attack. Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, look, this guy already beats the Airling archers and even the Helmingas, maybe even, because 6 versus 7 is not that a lot, and they're on a horse. So you know, much to say. Either way, 7 mil attack, 6 missile attack, and 4 charge bonus with total defense of 15 with 10 armor and 5 defense skill. That is, that's amazing. That's pretty good. Pretty good for archer cavalry this early into the. I think this is supposed to be. I think this is a militia, but it's fine. If you can get them, get them. Pretty good. The upkeep is 2,325, and the cost is 2,325, and the upkeep is 1,020. Rohirrim archers, if you want range, they will be your basic range unit. But then we come to your elites. Hopefully you're gonna be able to afford most of them, but probably not. First we start is Guardian of the Cave, your special dwarven units that you get if you rebuild the Misty Caves or Misty Crystal Caves, whatever they're called. Guard of the Caves. Shouldn't be Guardians of the Caves. Either way, Guard of the Caves. 12 melee attack, 11 missile attack, effective against armor. That's amazing. These will just deal with any armor, no problem. And total defense of 37 with 23 armor, 8 defense skill, and 6 shield. This is almost as good as Dunedain. They're not as good, of course, but almost. 23 armor is amazing. Hands down, amazing. And let me see the cost of these guys. But the cost is, of course, reflecting the usefulness of these dwarves, with 3,480 and an upkeep of 1,580. Very expensive, but also very good. Very good. Remark Cavalry, your third armor-piercing cavalry, or in this case, the first we're gonna look at. We have 91 of them. That's a lot of anti-armor cavalry. That's a lot. I love it. Skill against mount, skill against armor, of course. 10 attack, pretty good. 7 charge, and total defense of 30 with 18 armor and 12 defense skill. Not that armored, but damn good against armor. You know, damn good. Let me just, not much to say. I mean, it says right there. The stats are good. The damage is great. The charge is weak, but we can deal with that. The cost is 3,375 and upkeep is 1,450. So not bad, not bad. But then we come to Riders of the Fold, your Helmingas but on horses, which means they're better, right? Yes, yes they are. With 12 melee attack, 9 missile attack and 6 charge, and there's 81 of them. Can form, of course, the shooting circle and skill against mounts. Total defense is 29 with 18 armor, 7 defense skill, and 4 shield. These guys, just get them. Get them over the Helmingas. You don't need the Helmingas. You need Riders of the Fold to be your answer to range problems. But this answer to range problems will cost you 3,325 and an upkeep of 1,440. So it's relatively expensive, but also they're pretty good for your range. Next we have is Shield Maidens of Rohan. Now, are they better than Riders of the Fold? They have less ammunition, of course, but they also have a lot better stats. So yeah, that's on you to decide. 12 melee attack, 13 missile attack, 10 charge with, they can inspire nearby troops, skill against mounts, and effective against armor, and can form a shooting circle. Javelin units forming a shooting circle, that's a first. And total defense of 27 with 18 armor, 4 defense skill, and 5 shield. Sorry, these ladies are badass. And if you will, if you want to mix and match the Riders of the Fold and Shield Maidens of Rohan, be my guest. They are both amazing range for you, because that's all you're gonna get. Cost is 3,325 and upkeep is 1,420. It's, all of this, you look at the Riders of the Fold, it's like 9 missile attack. Once we get to her, Can, this is just pales in comparison to what Can has to offer, just pales. But here we come to the Meadowcell Door Wards. Arguably, you're maybe even better than the Guards of the Cave when it comes to defense. Maybe. Meadowcell Door Wards, 152 of them, so already larger. We can talk plate mail and chain mail in that too, because why not? 9 attack, which is 4 charge bonus, of course. Spearman, not gonna have any charge, but total defense of 38 with 22 armor, 10 defense skill, and 6 shield. These are your boys when it comes to defense. They will not crack at all. Very good units. Very good units. I love them. They are amazing. These are your anvil times 10, you might even say. Let me see if I can find the cost of them. Let's see. Where are they? Oh, come on. Excuse me? Where are they? Yes, yes, Royal Guard, with armed cavalry, okay, arrow lancers. Where? I can't find them. Oh no! Ah, there you go, found them finally. Okay, so for this amazing stats, which is makes this unit even better in my opinion for Rohan, the cost is only 2,675. 22 armor, 10 defense skill, and 6 shield, and only costs you 2,676. That is cheap. That is cheap for these stats. Now, of course, we're not gonna look at the attack because it's all about defense for your spearmen. That's why I'm just hyping them up a little bit because that is cheap but also amazingly good. And upkeep is of course 1,110. That very cheap but very good. And then we come to your second best cavalry, I would argue, maybe even third best, but they are amazing. Is the Air Lancers with effective against armor, of course, as we said before. 9 attack, very low attack though, very low attack, but 11 charge bonus with effective against armor. That will crush Isengard. And total defense of 28 with 17 armor, 6 defense skill, and 5 shield. Not that heavily armored, you might argue, and you're right, they're not that heavily armored, but they are amazingly offensive, which is the whole point, to be offensive. And that they are. You might look at that, might be thinking 11 charge bonus, 9 attack is not that big. But again, remember, these are all armor piercing units. They're not just standard damage. It'll probably be like 16 or 17 if it was standard, but because if it's effective against armor, it just doesn't need that much defense attack because it will have any armor the enemy has. But the cost is of course there also with 3,275 and an upkeep of 1,440. And then we talk about your legendary and your bodyguard. Let's talk about the bodyguard first. Bodyguard, of course, is like a copy of the legendary units. They have plate / chainmail because I actually think there's some kind of plate underneath them because 23 armor there has to be some plate. Either way, Rohan bodyguard, 9 attack, 18 charge with effective against armor. Now that's devastating. And total defense of 40 with 23 armor, 12 defense skill, and 5 shield. One of the best cavalry bodyguards, hands down, just because the effective against armor. A cost is 3,625 and upkeep is of course 1,530. And finally we talk about, what the fuck is this? Why? Why is the horse missing? Okay, this is just confusing. I don't know why the horse is missing. I don't know why. The game runs fine. I don't know why the horse is missing. I don't know why. This makes no sense. Maybe I need to do a fresh installation. But I'm gonna wait for version 5 of the Divine Conquer to come out. Then I do the next version of Divine Conquer Overhauled. This should be probably fixed. I don't know why. It's kind of disappointing. Either way, 13 attack, 18 charge bonus with total defense of 40 with 25 armor, 9 defense skill, and 6 shield. Your most armored unit and your highest attack unit. No effective armor though. That's a little bit unfortunate, but they don't need it. They just brute force it with the armor to protect the brute force. This is so annoying. But yeah, your legendary unit, of course, cost of 8,000 and upkeep of 6,000. Rohan, what can we talk about them? Well, they are all about the horses. Your infantry is there to just deal with the with the enemy force. They're to hold, and that's it. While your cavalry is to attack. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, or comment. I greatly appreciate the support. Goodbye.